Hello, my loves, and thank you so much for being here today. As usual, it's such a pleasure to have you on board, and I'm so grateful for all the love and the support you keep on showing me. So, thank you so much. Now, Prince Harry is on a 2-day tour visit to Ukraine, and we clearly saw the first day where he gave that speech at the Kiev Security Forum, and what an awesome speech that was. But here's the funny part, how the royalists were so triggered by his visit that they made some of the most absurd claims I've ever heard. Yeah, because Chris Ship, most of you know him, he followed Harry to report on behalf of ITV News, and when he posted it on his X platform, that he was in Ukraine with Prince Harry for an unannounced visit, they blew up. And there's this reaction, there's this accusation that I just thought so absurd, because some of the derangers claim that Harry did that in an effort to take the spotlight from his nephew's birthday. Yeah, some of the sick derangers claim that Harry just sat in Montecito, California. He had nothing to do, and he decided, what, on Prince Louis' birthday, I'm going to sort of overshadow him by going to Ukraine. My loves, first and foremost, I, like most of you, were not even aware it was his birthday. And I certainly found out through that visit, honestly. So if it's actually someone who is riding on the coattails of the other, then it would be the latter and not Prince Harry. So them going as far as to claim that he was trying to take the spotlight from his nephew, while his father on the same day of his birthday was out here riding Formula E cars, releasing clips of it online, and yet they don't want to see that. But that aside, I loved how he met the veterans, on the first day after he did after the speech, he met the veterans, the thousands of them, and you could see the excitement. My loves, that was the best part. You could see the excitement because he's one of them. He's a soldier, he's a veteran, he has been there. And he launched Invictus Ukraine for that purpose, So as it was so warm and so nice to see him meet with all those veterans, get that warm welcome, And the best part, he even got a chance to meet with the Prime Minister of Ukraine. Yeah, he met with the Prime Minister of Ukraine and they had a sit down together, Spoke about important stuff, my loves. I love that. Honestly, I love that. I love how such a diplomat he is, and it shows everywhere he goes. His charisma, it shines through. And as he'll be in Ukraine for the 2 days, I'm certain he'll meet with members of Invictus Ukraine and members of the Halo Trust that he's a patron of, But the best part was seeing these tabloids lose themselves, over his diplomacy. Yeah, they were losing themselves, going as far as to claim that the royal family should strip him of his titles. The same song again. And today he clearly told them he wasn't there as a politician. He was there as Harry, the soldier, Harry, the humanitarian, and Harry, the friend. Nothing more, nothing less. It was such a warm welcome to see him still stay true to who he is, because he has always, spoken about war and its effects, and he has always tried to show support where he can. Because earlier this year he did that in Gaza, during that Jordanian visit, where he met some of the humanitarian groups that were providing aid. They met with them, they spoke to them, and he called upon for aid corridors to be open to Gaza, So a couple of months later, seeing him do the same thing, on such a global scale, it was just so awesome to see. And I can't wait to see what next he'll do, because I know his visit, it's going to have an impact. That I am certain of, He's not going to just visit Ukraine and not have left an impact. But loves, he is going to leave an impact. And he's passionate about things he loves. He is passionate about his charities, about his philanthropies, Halo Trust, we have seen the numerous video calls he's been on, and now as he visits Ukraine, I am certain that he's going to visit them, He just had a meeting with Invictus Australia, where they are to officially set that bid to host the 2031 Invictus Games. And now he's going to meet with Invictus Ukraine. And you could see the soldiers, my loves, each one of them clamoring to have a selfie with Prince Harry, wanting to just speak to him, talk to him, associate with him. That's not faked. My loves, you can't fake that. You can't fake the atmosphere. You can't fake that charisma that he has. So while the derangers were out here blowing a gasket, over matters that don't even concern them in the slightest bit, throwing out their wildest accusations, yet, they can keep on being mad for all we care, They can keep on being insane and making all those insane speculations for all we care. Because the fact is that he is on a 2-day visit to Ukraine, and on the first day, we just saw the impact we had. We saw the love that he got, and we saw the diplomacy, his diplomacy at work. That impact, So I know that all this outrage just stems from a point of bitterness, The fact that he gets to do that, The fact that this is the one they chased away, and they look at the good he does, they look at his diplomacy, and then the so-called heir is driving Formula E cars somewhere, being paid off by the taxpayers, while Harry is doing it at his own cost, at his own volition. Then you get to understand why they're mad. They're just jealous, they're envious, and that's regret, honestly. And when they look at the leftover royals, each and every time Harry and Meghan do something like that, they just left dissatisfied more and more. Let me know your views in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Love you all so much. See you in the next one.